Flosstube. My name is Maria. My pronouns are she, her. You may know me as My Ruby Crafts on Instagram or My Ruby Designs on Etsy. Welcome to my Flosstube. This is a channel about cross stitch. Sometimes I talk about other crafts, but today we're going to talk about cross stitch, and more than anything, FFOing or finishing. I rarely fully finish things, so it's a big deal today. Also, I'm gonna have like a little bit of like sewing in there as well, all stitchy related. All right, so first, welcome to all of you who have been my old subscribers and coming back for more, and those of you who just joined or maybe trying out this channel for the very first time. So welcome to you as well. I hope you stick around. I hope you like, subscribe. I usually upload once a month, but this month, of course, this is end of year, so it's a special kind of vacation. Right now recording actually back to back a few videos. So I already recorded my whip parade, which should be up before you actually see this. So if you're watching this and you don't know, and maybe this is the first video you're watching from me, go back, and the previous video is a whip parade, so you can see the variety of things that I stitch on and all of that. And also I'm gonna record another video after this that will go on just few days into New Year, and talking about a new release, because I'm a designer as well. So I'm a cross stitcher and designer, and I usually talk about both on my channel. All right, so what is happening in the community? I usually start my episodes about what's happening in the community. So things that I want to highlight today is what is called Stitchers for Peace initiative. That is it's a collection of like 5 designers that we got together to design specifically because of issue of Palestine and what's happening in Palestine, the atrocities that happening in Palestine. And we designed a pattern together. So the 5 of us is me, Mariam from Crafty Yam, if you know her. She's on Instagram. She's also, I think, on Gumroad or Etsy. You can go to her Instagram page and you can find her there. Also Michelle from TheDigiStitchery, Michelle Bendy, and Yas from Yasmin Made with Love, and Aya Rosen. So 5 of us got together and designed a pattern. I designed borders and the center motif. When we release it, the hope is that we release it on New Year Day, and it will be available after you donate to a charity organization. We're thinking about Doctors Without Borders and PCRF, because both of these organizations have been historically been able to do great jobs in the Palestine area. So we want to make sure that we are the donation are going to where they need to go. Right now, of course, because of the blockade, all these organizations, if you donate to them, they're not going anywhere. Basically, they're going to just hold on to the money until the blockade is lifted, and then of course there will be a huge need for sure, because the resources are so depleted that they will need a lot of money to be able to provide services and all of that. So here is the pattern. I'm going to just share it with you. So here's the pattern and what it will look like. And so as I said, the border is designed by me, is from the motifs are representing the outer border is motifs that represents a river, and the inner motif is representing the sea, so it's from the river to the sea. And then the center band, the middle band in the border, is 4 parts, 4 lines from the same poem by 13th century Iranian poet Saadi. This is a famous poem. بنی آدم اعضای یک پیکرند که در آفرینش ز یک گوهرند، چو عضوی به درد آورد روزگار، دیگر عضوها را نماند قرار، تو که از مهنت دیگران بیغمی، نشاید که نامت نهند آدمی. So basically it says that all human beings are created from the same essence, and if one part is hurt, the rest will be in pain. And if you are not feeling the pain of other people's suffering, then you don't deserve to be called human being. So yeah, so I used the translation for the 3 of the 4 lines. So first line is in Farsi, which is the top, and then counterclockwise the next one is in Arabic, the bottom one is in Hebrew, and then the last line is in English. So if you read the whole thing, then it will give you the whole 4 lines of that poem. I have included the whole poem in all those 4 languages in the leaflet that comes with the pattern as well, so you know what it's about. And then the center motif says grief knows no bounds, because that is what connects us as human beings. Grief and pain is what tells us we are still human and we are connected to our emotions, and also it's what brings us together. It what connects us. It's the thread that connects us. So I have that in the center motif, and then there are lines that goes out of that center motif that basically are separating and showing you all these 4 other designs that are from the other 4 designers. So I hope you enjoy it. It was a really, it came from heart. Everyone I know, everyone involved in this project tapped into their heart and their soul for their design. So I want to make sure that you donate, and please donate and support, and then get a pattern that is basically meaningful, really meaningful for all of us, and hopefully for you to be able to stitch on it. All right, so that's what's happening in the community. Now let's talk about what you are here for. So all the FFOs that I did, so in one day I did so many fully finishes, because I've been like holding off because I was waiting for this specific frame to come in the mail. So as soon as I received it, I was like, today is the day. And I have this week off from work, from Christmas to New Year. Our office completely shuts down. Our organization is closed. So I was like, you know what? This is the best chance I get. So this is what I did. First off is Bivas Sampler, which is my own design. Bivas is the ancient name for bat, which is here, bat. And this is a stitch on Be a Stitch Me 20 count AW Stitch Me in sorbet. Yes, sorbet. This was one of those fabric of the month. I don't know if she actually sells it separately, but if she does, it's a beautiful fabric. It's a lot of oranges and yellows, and it's beautiful and it's spooky, and especially if you stitch on it with the black thread, it's really spooky. And I stitched it in sulky 12 weight black. Yep. And the frame is from Frame It Easy, which is my go-to store, like place to buy frames for my works, because you can give them the dimension of your work and they send you and choose the fabric and choose the frame, and you have the option of matte, choosing matte for it if you want to, and then they send you the whole thing and you just put it together yourself. I did not choose any matte for this because this is the sister pattern to my Afshan sampler, which you can see in the background is hanging there, and that one is framed in similar style of frame but different color, because that one is stitched in 1189 sulky, and and it's dark red. The frame is dark red, so I got black frame for this one, but this is same style and same size, because the patterns are the same size for both Afshan and Bivas. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And this will go on the other side of that mirror. It goes here, it will go here. Yeah. And by the way, this is the aftermath of me recording my whip braid. So this plus what I have here to give you as update were all the things that we talked about. I framed We Go On. This is a pattern by These 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari, the amazing duo. This pattern was from a Spring Fling box that they put out, and I purchased last year. And yeah, it was last year. Yeah, no, it was this year, 2023. What's wrong with me? I'm thinking that it's 2024, but it's not. This is still 2023. So yes, this is the pattern. Everything, thread and fabric and pattern were in that box. And I framed it in this frame that I got from Amazon. And I see there were like a pack of 4. I've already used 2, and the other 2 you will see. One is this one, and the other one is the other finish that I did. And this will go in my office. And I stitched this during the time that at the beginning of, like in October, at the beginning of all the atrocities was happening, the attack on Gaza. And I was feeling really helpless and hopeless. So this helped me a lot, because I feel like there is a parallel between the struggle, the career struggle, and the struggle of all minorities and all the oppressed groups in any way. It doesn't matter why you're oppressed. If you look really closely, you find a lot of similarities. We're more similar than different. So that's why it's really important for all of us who are being oppressed in one way or another to, you know, support each other's causes. So this was a pattern that like came in mind, and I stitched on it, and it was really therapeutic to stitch on it. Yeah. Next is Pansy. This is by Sarah Modcross, my friend. She designs these full coverage patterns, floral patterns that are from, like, inspired by flowers that she finds in her garden. She takes photo of them and then she turns them into patterns. The great thing about these patterns are this, as detailed as it is, only has 11 colors in it. So for someone who's just starting full coverage, or is not really into like patterns with so many colors, this is a great way to do full coverage. And they're not like, there is no background, so you only stitching the actual flower, so it's easier. So I stitched this using my own sulky conversion. So this is not the exact colors that she charted. This is like my own color conversion based on that, and it's on 20 count mossy. And I added a quote, like a poem at the bottom, that it says, ای کاش آدمی وطنش را مثل بنفشه ها در جعبه های چوبی می توانست با خود ببرد هر کجا که خواست. This is from M. Sareshk, an Iranian poet, that says, I wish if I could carry my homeland, just like right before Nowruz, which is the beginning of Persian New Year, on the streets there are these crates of pansies that you can buy, like boxes of pansies that people buy to plant in their gardens, and just to get ready for Nowruz and New Year and the spring. So he is wishing if he could do the same with his homeland. So just like when you have these pansies with that little bit of soil in that crate, and you can carry it with you anywhere you go. I wish if I could do the same with my homeland, I could have it in a crate with me anywhere I go. So I was really homesick when I stitched this, as you can see and you can guess. So yeah, I added the poem at the bottom. Next, I finished one of my mom's finishes. So this is one of her stitching. She stitched on 11 count. There are a lot of mistakes in this, but it's actually fewer mistakes than her first one that I framed for her. So it's the same frame. I bought a few of these from Amazon, a pack of I think 2. I already used one and framed one, and this is the second one, and I framed this one for her. Next, I made 3 flat finishes. I mean, you can call them ornament or whatever. So they're just flat like that. And this is a Cat's Reflection by Peruvian Flair and Aguayo. You can find her on Etsy. And I stitched it in these neon colors, and I used this color fabric for the backing, so I feel like it just goes together. It's neon and bright and all of that, and I use these decoration like ribbony things for, there's a little bow here and a tie so you can hang it if you want to. It's either like a big ornament, or you can just hang it on the wall just like this. And then I finished this, which is, what does this call? This was a freebie. It's called Flowers in a Window by StoneStreetStitch work, and it's stitched on 20 count Ada in charcoal, and I used Sulky blendable in Golden Flame 4004. I'm really happy with this, and I tried to create the same shape of the actual ornament, and used this decorative rickrack and little thing, and the fabric on the back sort of like this, the color of the thread, this floral. Yeah. And last one is this one, which is All Hallows Batch by Witchy Stitchery. I stitched this for a Stitchy for Witchy was it in October? I think in October we did that, and I stitched that. There was All Hallows Eve here written, and I just cropped that and brought up the border, and I finished it now. And this is on 18 count Picture This Plus in Herald, and I used all the leftover like random threads that I had, and I have finished it in, like, again, the backing fabric is the same as the Cat's Reflection. I have these blue ribbons, a little flower bow. This is a faux bow, so I didn't really, it's just with a pin, you know. I'm not really good with bows, but it doesn't matter. It looks cute. And I'm not one with a lot of like embellishments, so just a simple row of rickrack, sparkly rickrack around. That's it. So those are my cross stitch finishes. And then I sewed as well. So I love using thread beds, and I have thread beds in my one thread beds in every single project bag. So all of those you see, they all have a thread bed in them. So I made 18 more because I also love to gift these as like a small gift, because they're great, they're useful, and really easy to make, like super easy to make. So So I made 18, so now I have enough to, you know, have on hand if I want to gift someone, you know, for exchanges and stuff, and also for my bags, you know, for other 1,000,001 projects that I want to start at some point, of course. So here it is. This is what I have. And they're easy. There is a button, one of these like press ones, sew it in and you close it. So I have a few fabrics. So I have 4 in this DC comic character ones, and these are all like 2 of them are red inside and 2 are green, and the inside is felt, so the thread will stick to it. And then I made 4 in this Nightmare Before Christmas pattern fabric. So they're spooky. So some are blue, some are pink. I have purple. I have 2 purple. And then I have a few in the same fabric I used for the backing of this. And 2 are in orange felt, and then 2 are white. Then there is this one with the lime green insert, and the lemon one, and the checkered. I also made a pink one, and this one, sort of like a rainbowy one, and then this with the lime green. So yeah, so 18 of those. So these are all the fully finishes, and then I had some finishes too. So first I stitched, let's see, I finished a model that I'm gonna actually record a separate video for, and I have been sharing progress on that model on my Instagram, so you have seen it, but you have not seen the whole thing. And I have fully finished that, by the way. It's framed, but I didn't show you in this video, but I'm going to show you in a separate video. And then I have finished another model that I cannot show you, which was for Bird Box, that will be sent out soon, actually, by Jessie from Mislaid Pages. They put out, I think this is the second, yeah, it's the second year that they have put out this box, and I'm really happy to say I was one of the designers. So I have stitch the model, print out all the patterns, and it's all, the patterns are on their way to them. Hopefully they arrive on time. And then I stitched on Ready to Take Off by Modcross. This is in the ornament issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. I made a little bit of adjustment to make it less Christmassy, because I don't celebrate Christmas, but I love this cute little guy, or gal, or whatever. Oh, this is Rudolph, and it's stitched on 18 count TheDigiStitchery in spooky, so it's another printed one. And this is my back, and I use just random threads that I have, like leftover ones. So yeah. And then I finished I restarted and finished my section of the round robin, the rogue round robin that we are doing. It's me, Julie from Kansas City, Girl in Colorado World, Julie in Stitches 16, and Tara from Wilder Woman Crafts, I would say, or Stitches Crafts, yes. She will be linked below. Everyone is linked below, so you can find them there. So this is the pattern I chose, Ink Circle in Victorian license. It's originally, you know, you're supposed to choose, I don't know how many colors. There are like few colors in there, but another suggestion is for you to choose one color and just stitch everything in one color, which is like, I love monochrome patterns. I can't lie, I love monochrome, so that's what I do. So I have 20 count. Is this 20 count or 18 count? This is 20 count Lugana in raspberry, and I am using Sulky 12 way blendable in Earth Pastels 4026. So this is raspberry, and I marked that which way is up for everyone else because I have to send this out by the end of January. So yeah, my section is done. So I'm counting this as finished because my job is done. So this is a finish for me. So this is a quarter of the pattern, and this, I love this thread on this fabric. It has like green and sort of like cream and pink in it. It looks beautiful on this fabric. Of course, it's washing it out. This is more true to color, so you can see the contrast. Yep. So this is ready to go now, and I will be sending it out sometime whenever I have time to actually do it. I'll be sending it out to Julie, actually, my friend Julie. And then after I finished that, then I got the starteritis, which is like a start all the things. So guess what? I started all the things. I mean 3, but yeah, I started all the things. So let me show you. I started Legend of Lake Geneva from Owl Stitching House. So there is this line right there. I'm gonna just bring up the border, and I'm not gonna stitch this because it just says Legend of Lake Geneva, 12th of February 1714. It means absolutely nothing to me, and I'm more interested in this weirdness that's happening here. So I'm going to just bring this up and be done with that. And I am stitching it on 20 count in Cedar Linen and Design in Tephra, and I'm using my own sulky colors. So yeah. Then I started the Cuckoo Bird sampler from Heart and Hand. I am stitching it on 20 count Ada in Cashmere Blue using Cottage Garden thread in Golden Gully. Let me show you the thread. So it's a beautiful thread, and I love how it looks on blue. Oops. Yep. And also started Quaker Crow by the Work Basket. I meant to start this in October, but you know, I started other things. I am stitching on 18 count Ada in autumn from TheDigiStitchery, and they're like printed fabrics, and I'm using Threadworks, one strand of Threadworks in Lava Rocks. So I love how prim it looks. I originally stitched it in 2 strands. I stitched a little bit on top of the head, and then it was too bulky and too tight, and yeah, 1 strand is the way to go. So yeah, so all those 3 were new start, but I also worked on a whip. I'm hoping to be able to finish this by the end of year, because right now I have 39 finishes. I really like to round it up to 40 and finish on 40 finishes in 2023. So yeah, so that's the goal. So let's see if we can get there. This is Peppermint Purple Sal. This is black work. I think it's doable. We'll see. I still have a few days of being off of work, so this weekend this will be my mission to finish this. We'll see. And it's I'm stitching it on 16 count Ada, hand dyed by Mislaid Pages, and I'm using 1 strand of DMC in 820. Just look at the amazing colors here. I just love it. I so love it. Yeah, ideally I want to be able to finish it before New Year's Eve, because that day and the New Year's Day I want to be able to stitch on Come to the Garden, which was that's from Teresa Koget, and it was my 2023 New Year new start. So I want to be able to focus on that. I'm not starting anything new. I want to focus on that instead. So that's actually a good segue to talk about plans. So what am I doing in 2024? So first of all, I've done WIPGO now for 2 years. It served me well. First year I did it, 2022, I was able to keep up with it up until October, and then I abandoned all hopes and just left it. And then this year I did actually better. So I did up until December, but then December I had so many models that I had to stitch, and the prompt did not fit any of those. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just, because I have to finish what I have to finish, and then when I was done, I was done. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do WIPGO. So next year I'm not doing WIPGO. Instead, because my goal is to focus on those older patterns that I did not, older whips that I did not touch that much this year, I want to revisit them, and I actually want to finish them. Ideally I want to finish everything that I started before 2023. So I mean, I don't have anything left from 2021. I don't think so. But from 2022, I have a few, quite a few actually. And I like to finish those, to be done with those. And also I love those patterns. I want to see them done. I'm both a process stitcher. I really enjoy the process of putting together fabric and thread and all of that, mainly because I rarely go based on what is called for. So it makes it even more fun to kit up something. And it's exciting to start a new thing because it's like, it's all like figuring out what fabric works best and what threads to choose and all of that. So that means that I love starting things, and I have enjoyed starting things. But at the same time, I'm a really project stitcher as well. I love to see my projects done. I love to see them like finished as a finish. I'm not really good at FFOing things, but I love to finish a project. I love to have it in my stash, my like little tube that I have for my finishes. I want to be able to just roll it in that and say, I finished this. Yeah, that's really satisfying when I see the whole thing is done. So yeah, so I want to be able to do that for my older pattern. Also, like doing a few things that are like started, a few sort of like hashtags that are started by one started by Nitya, which is Queued Up Sal, that she did this year in 2023, and I want to work on that for 2024. That there are a lot of designers that I really enjoy their work, and I have a few patterns from them, and I want to, and there are a lot of like a few patterns that have like a sister or like the pair, like another in a series, or at least similar pattern that they go together. And I love to be able to finish those so I can start the next one. So that's something that I'm really interested in. So Queued Up Sal, definitely. And then the other one is Free to Floss, which is a hashtag and term coined by Julie from Julie Stitches 16, my friend. She, if you don't know, by the way, if you don't know any of these people that I'm mentioning, watch them. They're all brilliant, like brilliant. Have to say, I am following some genius people, some great people, and the community and my friends have been awesome and have been my source of comfort and energy and all the things. So I love to hype them up. So go, I'll link all of them below. Go follow them, watch them. They're great. So yeah, Julie, she coined this term because she has a lot of flosses stuck in different projects, and until you finish that project, you are out of luck. Until you want to steal, unless you want to steal from your whips and you know, take one thread from this bag and start something else, and then you forget about it, and then, you know, it will be a mess. And I usually am not like that. So if I start a project, I kit it up with the whole thing. Everything you need for that project will be in that project bag. So not only I have my fabric and also all of the floss and thread bed and a scissor and a needle and a needle minder, everything that I need to do, a needle threader, everything I need to work on a project except for the hoop will live in that project bag until it's done. That means I have a lot of materials held hostage in my bags. So those bags right there. So like, for example, I love stitching in sulkies. Recently, I haven't been able to stitch in sulkies that much because most of my sulkies, almost all of my sulkies, and I have a full, like all the boxes, I have them. I have 2 of each of the solid colors offered, the full range of petite sulkies. I have the whole thing, and I have almost all of the blendables, and still almost all of my solids, which is the majority of the colors that I use, are held hostage in my project bags because I have a few projects that each have so many colors. So all of those spools are living in those project bags. So I need to finish that project so I can take those spools back. So then I can use them for a different project. You know what I mean? So I know it's a whole thing. So yeah, so that's another thing that I want to focus on. For the first 6 months, I want to really focus on my older projects and see how many I can finish. With the exception of month of January, because it's a little odd month of January, because I will be going on a cruise, stitchy cruise in the middle of it, and whatever I take with me, that's what I'm gonna stitch on, and I already know what I'm gonna take with me. I'm gonna have a monochrome project, a small, and then a colorful project. So I'm gonna have 3 like options, and I know that we're gonna get projects, like we have 3 designers with us, and we're gonna get 1 project from each, and I think it includes the fabric and thread too. I think it's kitted up. If it's kitted up, that means that I will have 6 different things to stitch on as options, but you know, you never know what you want to stitch on. So I'm going to definitely take 3 with me, and one is bake me a dozen sal, so the dozen quicker pattern, the sampler, I will take that with me definitely, because I need a monochrome, and that's on 16 count, so it's easy stitch. Even if the light is not perfect or ideal, I'll be able to stitch on that, no problem. I will take a small one of the whips that I have, and then I will take Come to the Garden, because that's the project that I'm planning on stitching on New Year's and New Year's Day and New Year's Eve, and because it will be out, I will continue stitching on it. So probably I will take that with me as my colorful option. Now that I think about it, actually, I'm probably not going to take that because that's on a dark fabric. So I might take Tom's Foolery instead with me, which is another color. Never mind. I'll think about it later. Never mind. When I post my update at the end of January, and it's like after I'm back from the cruise, I'll let you know what I took with me and what I actually stitched on. So we'll leave that. So it's, except for January, which is like up in the air for all the other these reasons, the rest of the year, the first like 5 months after that, I want to really focus on stitching all the older projects and see how many of them I can get either finished or close to finish. And I'm gonna use the decision wheel. So I'm gonna like eliminate the newer whips and then just have it pick from my older projects, and go by that. And every time one of those comes up, I will stitch 10 days on it, and then I give myself a break and give myself an option. If that project after that 10 days is very close to finish, I will continue stitching on it until it's done. If it's not that close to finish, I still have a few pages left, then I will move to do another decision wheel and pick another web. So that's for the first 6 months. Also in 2024, I'm gonna do a very strict low buy. So with a couple of exceptions, I'm part of I just signed up for Moselle Silk, and in the investment portion, I'm going to show you that I purchased for the first time. I purchased from them, and their silk is good. I'm excited to use it, and so I signed up for their Silk of the Month for the next year. So that's something that will be coming in monthly. Other than that, I'm not in any fabric subscription anymore. Nothing else is coming in. And I am not planning on buying any fabric or thread. There is one exception, which is for model stitching. So if I need something for my model after I designed something, then I allow myself to purchase it. The exception, I do need to first, before I go out and purchase something else, I need to first look into my stash and see if I can actually make it in a satisfactory way using what I have in a stash already, both fabric and threads. If the answer is no, then I allow myself to go and purchase things for the model. But other than that, I'm gonna just stick to stash. I have plenty of fabric and good number of threads, a variety of threads that I can use. And also because I'm not starting anything, at least for the first 6 months, I don't need to kit up anything unless it's a model. So I'm gonna just stick to my whips at least for the first 6 months, so I don't really need to be worrying about not having enough fabric or thread or whatever in the stash. Yeah, so these are all the plans for 2024. I mean, and just keep in mind, these are plans, they're not set in stone. I can change my mind tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but first day of 2024. I mean, if I change my mind tomorrow, it still is 2023. So I can change my plans, and it still will be plans. Anyway, so now I have just a few investments, and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right, so first, I finally got my hand on this Tooties by these 20 stitches and Uncanny Cardi. This was exclusive to Stitch North, and they added some of these, like a few of these, to their by they I mean D added a few of these to their Kofi, and I was able to purchase one. So I love this. I don't know when I'm gonna stitch it, but I have it now, so I'm happy about that. Also, I signed up for 2024 A Stitch for Pride sale that is hosted by D, and this year they are doing it differently. So it's actually a pattern that they will release on a monthly basis with the prompt and the learning piece and all of that. I'm really ashamed to say that in 2023 I didn't post that much. So I started, like, I did the learning and all of that in the background. Earlier on, I actually went through the list and did a lot of it. And but then the posting and keeping up with the prompt for monthly basis, I think the last one I did was in around May-ish or June, and then after that I just didn't follow up with that. So this way it's actually will be easier. So this is another one. So this will be the other exception for a start when it comes to 2024, because that's a monthly thing. So I don't have it yet, but here's the fabric. So I bought the fabric, and I bought the thread pack as well. So the fabric is by Mislaid Pages, and Mislaid Pages, Jessie is famous for their fantastic colorful fabrics, and I love their fabrics. I love how colorful and wild they are. The fabric is actually neutral. This is the fabric. And yes, this is not Ada. I bought linen because I know how to stitch on linen now. And I asked and they confirmed that there are some fractional stitching in it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just say I'm not gonna pierce another Ada for like fractional. So I got this 36, and the name of this fabric is Determination. So this is a 36 count linen. Then lastly, I placed an order with Moselle Silk. So they used to exclusively sell on Facebook, which at the time I really could not figure out how this whole thing went. Like, I didn't know. And so I just went there and looked at pretty pictures, photos of people with their stash, and I was just wondered how did they manage it. But you know, and then I realized that, you know, they made an announcement. They do have now, they have an Etsy shop now. So guess what? I went there and I purchased 4 spools. So this one is in royal blue, and each spool is 360 yard of silk, and they're shiny and beautiful, and the thickness, I would say this is just a hair thicker than 1 strand of DMC, which is actually perfect. It makes it perfect. So this is one in royal blue. This one is plum. This one is ruby. And this one is pear. Look at this color. I love this kind of green. So yeah, as soon as I got these and saw the quality, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sign up for their silk of the month. So I'm gonna be receiving silk from them on a monthly basis. All right, so that is it in terms of investments. I don't have anyone else to talk about in terms of suggestions and channels, because you know, as I said earlier, all the people I mentioned today, they're all great. So I'm gonna just have them all linked below, and go check their website, their YouTubes. So people that I mentioned, Julie from Julian Stitches, Nietzsche from TheDigiStitchery, Sarah from Modcross, Tara from Wilder Woman Crafts, Julie from Kansas City, Girl in Color World, Dee from these 20 Stitches. Who else? I mentioned Eager from Sunshine Stitchery, so Sunshine Stitchers. They are great too. EJ and Sheila are fantastic, so please watch them. So every single person I mentioned, did I mention anyone else? I don't think I mentioned anyone else. If I mention anyone else, it will be linked below. So go watch them all, subscribe to all of them. They're all great. I'm really proud to, Michelle from Michelle Mendy, yes, and Yas from Yas Made with Love, Miriam from Crafty Yam. I don't think Aya has Flosstube. I don't think so. So yeah, all of them. Please follow them on Instagram. Subscribe to them on YouTube if they do have YouTube. If they have Etsy shops, go subscribe to their Etsy shops. If they have Kofi, go be I don't know, follow them there. So yeah, and I hope this year is coming to an end on a high note. I know it's difficult to talk about that, knowing what's happening in the world and all the heaviness that there is, but that's what makes a freedom valuable, so valuable, because it's a struggle. It's a struggle to be free, and it's a struggle to get your rights. So it doesn't matter what kind of, if you belong to any oppressed group, any minority group, based on ethnicity, race, based on your origin, based on your education level, your sexuality, your gender identity, and so on. There are so many other ways that someone can be put in a group that then will be oppressed by the majority, so by people in power. So if you belong to any of those groups, my heart goes to you as someone who has been and is one of those people. I understand your struggle. I know it's difficult. I know there are days that you don't have any energy, and just existing hurts. Just existing hurts sometimes. So if you can be kind, be kind. If you see someone who's in pain, ask them how they are and what you can do to lift them up. That is important too. Sometimes if you see a friend that is really, really having a rough time because of what's going on, and maybe they have friends and family, maybe they belong to one of the groups that is oppressed and is now under attack for a variety of reasons, ask them how they're doing, and maybe take them out for a coffee. Just sit with them. Suggest that you can stitch together if you're stitchers, even if it's over Zoom, and even if you want to stitch in quiet over Zoom. I have done it with friends, and it's great. It's what sometimes what we need sometimes. Just knowing that people care, really care, not just asking how you're doing and not waiting for an answer, but you know, asking and meaning it. So ask and mean it. Take care of yourself, be kind, and find peace. Bye.